The day that I became an honorary Tuskegee Airman will go down in my personal history book as one of the best days of my life. It was such a huge honor. It's an honor that I absolutely don't deserve, but I was so enormously grateful to be recognized in that way. It was a very special day, but more importantly, it was a special day, I think, for the entire Air Force in the sense that the Tuskegee Airmen represent the power of diversity, the power of perseverance, the power of valor and sticking with it no matter what, the power of competence. And I have tried to represent these things for our Air Force during my tenure as Secretary of the Air Force as well, particularly the power of diversity. And so I was enormously grateful that they bestowed that high honor on me. The moment that they placed the red jacket upon me, it was just a point of enormous emotion for me. I remember having my eyes well up with tears. I remember thinking, how can I even respond to this from original Tuskegee Airmen who were present that day, men who are today in their 90s, but when they were young, they saved the world during World War II. So it was a powerful, emotional point for me and one that I'll never forget. I found out first that I was going to receive the honor of being an honorary Tuskegee Airman by Colonel Chalres McGee, who I am so grateful that I can call now my friend.
Interesting to know that a person at that level calls you a friend, because I did not know her during my active service, but it was in post-service activities and so on that our paths crossed, and I think it was first time was at a luncheon, and it was just a pleasure at that time for me at my level to meet and be able to almost say sit at the same table with the Secretary of our Air Force, but then following that. There was an opportunity at events that I happened to be present, and she was there too, and so to meet again and to be able to share and chat a moment was very, very rewarding and something that continued to grow. Secretary James was made an honorary Tuskegee Airman because of her approach in recognizing all of the people that were under her command, you might say, although she is at the top of the ladder still. She recognized the same value that the Air Force had said. Its training and experience and where needed that was so important. And she looked and served I think with that in mind, that it's all of the people, not just some of them. And she gave high respect to those under her at all levels, and it just stood out. She was a wonderful person.
Without question, the honor of being a Tuskegee Airman is going to stick with me for the rest of my life, and it empowers me all the more. It makes me all the more determined that whatever I do in the future, I want to continue to speak out on behalf of diversity and inclusion for all organizations. I tried to do this as the Secretary of the Air Force, and I will go on to do the same. I believe in it for two key reasons. Any organization nowadays needs to be able to draw from the widest pool available of talent across America. And we are a diverse nation, and so that means we have to be open to all different types of people, races, genders, backgrounds, geographies, to get the best talent. The number two reason why I believe in it is because there's all kinds of data to back up the assertion that teams of people who come from diverse backgrounds create innovative solutions to tough problems. And so I don't know of any government agency, and I don't know of any corporation that isn't looking for the best talent and creative and innovative solutions. So we all need that, and so I'm going to continue to speak out on behalf of diversity and inclusion. The Tuskegee Airmen broke barriers. They are icons in the history of American air power. They are certainly icons for the U.S. Air Force. So during a period when our nation was at war during World War II, during a period when the color lines were very firm, and when African Americans were not afforded the same rights as white Americans. They nonetheless stepped up to the plate. They took on an enormous challenge. They made a very, very important contribution to the war effort in World War II, and of course, we as a country went on to become victorious with our allies. They then returned to an America which, once again, had not fully desegregated. There were still enormous problems here at home. So not only are they icons of American air power for the sheer competence and the valor that they displayed, they're also icons of perseverance. They're icons of stepping up against all odds and demonstrating that degree of competence. They're icons of the power of diversity and bringing different people to the table or to whatever the job may be to get the job done. They remain equally important today, if not more important, I would assert. And I am so happy that the Tuskegee Airmen are continuing to carry on that legacy and tell that story. It's a very relevant story for the young people of today.
It's good to be able to share the experience, and I enjoy kind of helping motivate our young people, because I look at it, this is a value experience that sustained us are still good for the young folks today, and maybe even more so, because the one I think of most important is persevering, and that is, don't let circumstance be an excuse for not achieving. We could have gone off in the corner with our heads bowed, but what would it have done for not only ourselves or families, but what would it have done for the country?
We have to remember these stories. We have to keep telling them because they translate so well into the modern day and will remain so into the future. Once again, it's the power of different people coming together to solve problems, the power of perseverance, the power of personal valor and courage.